Now, this one is very important for you HR leaders. No longer are we beholden to those subjective assessment of work performance. So candidates are now looking forward to a more holistic assessment on their performance, ways of improvement, so that they can go on and improve themselves and climb the career ladder. I have standing here just to give you a very quick 15 minutes presentation, not about Jobstreet Express, but about the overall industry trend of what we see in Indonesia. Okay? So stay in, wrap in, and then let's enjoy this. So 3 things I want to mention to all of you today. Number 1, what is the 2022 recruitment trend that we are seeing in Indonesia? And I'll explain to you how we get that data later. And some of this would be very interesting for you as you inform of your own HR strategy and plan for your own companies in the next year. Yeah. The second thing is, I understood that most of us here are from the hospitality and F&B industry. Betul tak? Yeah. Therefore, what we have done is to extract out some very vital information about these 2 industries. Of course, Jobstreet serves all industry in Indonesia, but because of this HRA conference, we have purposely extracted out some very vital information for you. Third one, I will just give a brief introduction about why Jobstreet Indonesia and why we are here. Okay, let's go. Firstly, the presentation slide dalam bahasa Indonesia, jadi kalian boleh baca ya. So, I will do it in bahasa Inggris, right? In our survey, every single year, we make a survey to all our customers so that we understand and then we can inform our vital partners like BPJS, Kemenaker, what are we looking at for Indonesia? 52% of perusahaan will seek to increase or maintain your personnel. This is a marked improvement from what we are seeing from the first half of this year. And of course, you know, in 2021, it was straight out of the pandemic. It was a very difficult situation for everybody. And of course, now, some of you may have heard and read, the global situation is not doing very well. Macroeconomic situation is not doing very well. There are many companies who are now pausing or letting go of staff. We in Jobstreet Indonesia is trying to help out as many people as we can. But this chart shows that the general direction of the industry is showing good progress. All right? Seiring, which is the same trend as the economic growth that we are seeing for Indonesia. All right? Next up, what then do we see for in second level of detail, how do companies see themselves in terms of recruitment? If you look at the left-hand bar, I understand sometimes it's very difficult for you to look at all the numbers over here, but let me explain to you the high-level takeaways, yeah? The left-hand bar, the blue color, suggests that all of blue color bar over there suggests that most of the companies, close to 50%, are increasing your headcounts across all sizes, not only the small, big perusahaan, isi besar, menengah, kecil, dan tot. So all of them, you guys are seeking to leverage on the growth of Indonesia's economy. But what we are seeing is that there is a marked increase in the need for what we call contract staff, or sometimes people call it daily worker or temporary staff. So we are seeing a shift in the need for people in this industry to hire not only permanent, but also temporary staff to fill in the requirements of industry. All right? Next up, now, this is very important. One of the mission of Jobstreet is to digitalize the HR recruitment industry. And when we ask our customers, how important do you feel in your various HR cycle, right? So you have recruitment, daftar gaji, keterlibatan pegawai, penilaian candidate. So all of these HR life cycle, including your payroll, performance assessment, which do they feel is the most important for digitalization? And very important that rank number one is the recruitment, all right? And I'll share a bit more insights about what we know the Indonesian companies are doing in this regard. And if you can look, in terms of digital transformation, recruitment has become the high priority for many of you, all right? In the past, recruitment goes through word of mouth. Betul kah? You will ask your colleagues, hey, do you have friends and family who wants to work over here? We have vacancy. Why don't you pass on that to them? We want to change that situation. We want to change so that ordinary Indonesians can come onto a platform to look for a job. And for you guys, so that you can get access to more candidates to fulfill your vacancies. So digital transformation in the recruitment scene is taking on a much greater urgency right now. And of course, the entire value chain of the HR life cycle. All right? Now, let's zoom in a little bit more about the hospitality and F&B industry. The ones that you are seeing in green represents hospitality. The ones that you are seeing in blue represents the F&B industry. In terms of, let's look at the left-hand side bar first. In terms of the level of education, we see that in hospitality, most of the applicants are from kelulusan sarjana, D4 and S1 and above. All right? In the F&B industry, the majority of them have SMR. All right? So this is just some very vital information for you to inform your strategy next time. How about the level of seniority for the work? Most of the applicants falls under the entry level, but we do see that, of course, as you go higher up, you cannot have everybody applying for management position. So this is very vital that most of the people that actually goes on to apply are coming on to the entry level. That shows that your industry is very vital to give our young people, young Indonesian, a head start in their career, right? And most of your industry is becoming the choice of workplace for young Indonesians, all right? Okay, now let me share a little bit about what is the attractiveness that we see Indonesian candidates are looking for. Three major factors that I want to highlight. Number one, because I understand that if all of you here are HR leaders, you are not only concerned about recruitment, you are also concerned about maintaining the staff that you have. Betul tak? Make sure that the turnover is low. Now, what is then the main contributing factor for people to stay and to grow with your company? Number one, peluang pengembangan dan jenjang karir. The expectation for them to improve themselves and to have a career pathway in your company. That comes up number one in our survey for Indonesian candidates. Number two, gaji kompensasi, of course, right? This is without saying. Competitive pay is very important for us to maintain our workforce. Number three, jaminan kerja, that is job security. Now I will go through each detail. What does all of this mean? Yeah. If you look at number one, peluang pengembangan dan jenjang career, their career pathway, three things that stood out for Indonesian candidates, right? Number one, they are looking for companies that can give them a clear career pathway, a clear guidance in which they can progress further in their working life. Number two, proses dan masa evaluasi kerja yang jelas. No longer, now this one is very important for you HR leaders, no longer are we beholden to those subjective assessment of work performance. So candidates are now looking forward to a more holistic assessment on their performance, ways of improvement, so that they can go on and improve themselves and climb the career ladder. Number three, under the first factor, is peluang promosi. Of course, any company that has bigger chance of getting promoted, climbing the career ladder, they would stay on further. Okay? So that is faktor nomor satu, career pathway. Number two, gaji kompensasi. Number one, of course, everyone is looking forward to a very competitive monthly salary. They are looking for tunjangan hari raya, definitely. And thirdly, Pak Adit, this is for you, BPJS dan asuransi kesihatan. We have seen many candidates on our platform looking for companies that gives BPJS dan all the contribution, all right? This has become one of the top requirements, and I know based on our conversation with Bu Ochi and everybody, it's a mission of BPJS to get as much coverage as possible to BPJS, to all companies, all right? So make sure that in your recruitment, in your marketing materials, that you shout it out loud that your companies, those that come to work for you, is the candidates are assured of BPJS coverage, all right? The third one, faktor ketarikan, jaminan kerja. So number one, they want to make sure that the position is permanent. Number two, the companies are reputable. The companies are great companies, not easy, not those that are fly-by at the side. And of course, turnover yang rendah means low staff turnover, high appreciation of your staff. So I will just leave this with you. I'm very sure we can share this deck. I know some of you are taking photo. Don't worry. We will be able to share this out to you. And this comes up in a major report that we send out every single year that we can share out to you, yeah? Okay? Okay, now, why are we here? Maybe some of you know about Jobstreet. Maybe some of you do not know. I'll just take these 5 minutes to introduce to you why we are starting to get into their ecosystem and why do we want to have this sponsorship to support all of the HR activities that people like HR is doing. Now, Jobstreet is not only a brand in Indonesia. We are under a global brand called bcak, which is an Australian listed company. And in Indonesia, we have been present for 17 years. All right? So it's a long way that we have been in part of this economy, part of helping all of you. And throughout the last 3 years, we have undergone major transformation. So far, we are present in 6 countries: Hong Kong, Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines, Thailand, and the biggest country of Southeast Asia, Indonesia. What is the transformation that we are doing? I'm going to spend a little bit time on here. The Jobstreet of the old, the core brand, we have revamped them, make sure our product help you guys. There's an application management system, there's a candidate management system. The main brand will focus on what we call structured hiring. Structured hiring that requires a HR department, there's a proper process, and these are focused towards the roles like management, your accountants, your engineer, white-collar roles. Most of these people that we serve in the main brand are full-time workers. And these are companies who are medium to large size in nature. In Jobstreet Express, we are launching this new product first in Bali. All right? We are firstly launching in Bali to support your industry in the hospitality and F&B fraternity. What Jobstreet Express is doing is to complement our main brand. We are focused on the unstructured hiring and pekerjaan semi-terampil or semi-skilled workers. All right? We realize that most of you will require many people like in barista, in waiter, and you require a new product that is fast, that is trusted, that can give you candidates immediately. Therefore, we have launched Jobstreet Express, first in Bali, and we are going on to Bandung next month to help all of you here. Okay? So if you look on Google Play, if you go on the website, you can find 2 products to serve your very different needs. Okay? I won't go through each of these, but because the time is up for me, I will just want to say this, right? In just 2 months, we have launched in Bali. We have now about 1,500 companies with us. And I just want to let you know that we are not only serving big companies like you and us, you and the friends over here. We are serving small local businesses so that they can get their workers and improve the overall local economy. So far, we have close to 40,000 candidates on our platform in Bali right now. And then we have provided more than 2,000 jobs to all local Balinese. All right? And look at this. These are the happy faces of our customers so far. And it's very important that we continue to stay close to you, customers, to look at how we can serve you better, understand your needs, and make sure that you get the candidates that you need. And we support our local young Indonesians in their first career journey.